Hello students, I hope you all are well. As we have started the lecture series, so now today's topic is lipids. Your unit MI 201, paper number MI 201 and unit number 1. So as you might be aware about some basics about the lipids, and lipid is a topic of biomolecule which is normally covered during the 12th science or during the 11th science, but still we are just going to clear the basic concepts about the lipid. So in examination, normally the question types of the lipid on the regards of the lipids are of type like for example, the question will be asked in the form of what is lipid and give the classification of lipid, explain the classification of lipids and give the significance of lipids. So this type of question will be there in examination. So according to questions you have to prepare the answer. So in this particular lecture I'm just going to give you the brief knowledge of or upper knowledge about the lipids. Let us begin with the first slide, the definition of the lipids. So as you already know that lipids are the heterogeneous group of organic compounds that are insoluble in water and soluble in non-polar organic solvents like chloroform and ether. They naturally occur in most plants, animals, microorganisms and are used as a cell membrane component, energy storage molecules, insulation and hormones. This particular slide number 3 is indicating the types of the lipids. Normally as you can see this is the structure of phospholipids, and lipids may be divided into two types, fatty acids and glycerides, and normally they are of two types, simple lipids, that is non-glyceride lipids, and complex lipids. Fatty acids, again you are aware that fatty acids are of two types, saturated and unsaturated fatty acid. We will discuss later on. Now let us see on the slide number 4 that saturated versus unsaturated fatty acid. This is the clear cut comparison or clear-cut differences between the saturated fatty acid and unsaturated fatty acids. They are having saturated fatty acids are having single bonds, and unsaturated fatty acid are having a double bond, and these are all the differences of the saturated and unsaturated. You have to read it out. We are just going directly to the classification of the lipids. Lipids can be classified according to their hydrolysis products and according to the similarities in their molecular structures. So three major subclasses are recognized. So again we have seen the classification of carbohydrate was based on the structure of carbohydrate like monosaccharide, disaccharide, polysaccharide. Again classification of lipid is again based on their structure. So three types of lipids are there: simple lipids, complex lipids and derived lipids. Now what do you mean by simple lipids? So simple lipids are the fats and oils which yield a fatty acid and glycerol upon the hydrolysis, normally made up of fat and oils, and giving you fatty acid and glycerol, normally made up of fatty acid and glycerol, and waxes which yield the fatty acid and long chain alcohols upon the hydrolysis. Now let us see the fats and oil. Both types of compound are called triacyl glycerols because they are the esters composed of the three fatty acid joined to the glycerol. That's why they are called as trihydroxy alcohol also, that you have already seen during the basics of the 12th biology. And the differences in the difference is on the basis of their physical state at room temperature. It is a customary to call lipid a fat if it is a solid at 25 degrees centigrade, and oil if it is liquid at the same temperature. So you might be have seen the, I'm just giving you the example of normally a vegetable oil that you are using, your mom is using in the kitchen, and just take an example of a normal ghee or a butter, right? So they are not in a liquid form at a room temperature, right? And oil is in the liquid form at a room temperature. So this is the difference between the fat and the oil. Now waxes. Waxes is an ester of long chain alcohol and fatty acids. These acids alcohol normally found in waxes have a chain of order of 12 to 34 carbon atoms in length, and waxes are water insoluble due to the weakly polar nature of the ester group. Now I just want to clear one thing about the fat or lipids over here, that you already know that in carbohydrates the number of carbon, the number of hydrogen and the number of oxygen atoms, well the ratio was hydrogen, the ratio of the hydrogen and oxygen was about 2:1, that we have already discussed, C6H12O6. But over here in lipid you are going to get a long chain of carbon, more than 10, more than 12, more than 30, more than 40 also, and in that case the number of oxygen will be much lesser. There may be a chance that no oxygen will be there, or there may be a chance along with the 15 carbon or along with the 16 carbon the same the double number of hydrogen will be there, but oxygen will be 2 only, or no oxygen will be there, right? So you have to clear one thing, that in lipid structure carbon number and hydrogen number are remaining constant, but the oxygen's number are getting very less with compared to the carbohydrates. This is the reason that fats or the lipids are not easily cannot be easily break down. Waxes are the water insoluble due to the weakly polar nature of the ester group. Some unique simple lipids are also there, called as terpenes. Terpenes are unique lipids. Normally now that we understand that what lipid are, so we can look at terpenes. Terpenes are non-saponifiable lipids. We will discuss later on what is the saponification or the simple lipids, and do not contain fatty acid. Normally in the lipid structure fatty acid is there, but in terpene fatty acid is absent. Then on the basis of number of carbon present in terpenes, terpenes may be classified in different form like monoterpene, diterpene, triterpene or tetraterpene, and polysoterpene. Now another unique structure of lipid is steroids. You already aware that steroids is a group of plant and animal lipid that have a tetracyclic ring structure shown in the below structure, right? This type of tetracyclic ring has been seen in the structure of steroids. Now some feature common to the steroids. The fusion of the ring is trans, and each atom or the group at a ring junction is axial. This is the arrangement, this is regarding the arrangement of the steroid, and as you already know that most have axial methyl group at C10 and C13, but what here we have to remember is the function of steroid. We don't need to go in deep detail of the steroids, but we just have to understand that steroids are the lipid having a 4 tetracyclic ring structure, and these are some example of steroids. A well known example is cholesterol. As you can see, this tetracyclic ring is there. Then progesterone, again a hormone. Estrogen, again a hormone of a female reproductive system. Testosterone is again a hormone of a male reproductive system. Aldosterone is again a hormone of male reproductive system, and cortisone is again a hormone. So these steroids are actually a hormone. The hormones are made up of steroids, right? So these are the example. Apart from the cholesterol, all of these are the hormones. Now second is complex lipid. So according to the chosen classification, they contain frequently 3 or more chemical identities. Now why the complex? You have to understand the name given complex because they are having more than 1 or more than 2 chemical identities. Like they are having glycerol, they are having fatty acid, as well as they are having sugar, then they are called as complex lipid. So again I am telling you, on the basis of the structure the lipids have been classified. So they might be having a one long chain base, they might be having one nucleoside on another end, they might be having a phosphate group as well, and have a polar properties also. So some contain only 2 components but including a sugar moiety, and some contains more than 2 also. So if in the lipid structure more than 2 components are involved along with the sugar moiety, then you have to remember this is the structure of complex lipid. The complex lipid are classified into 4 main groups. You have to remember 4 main groups have been given to the complex lipid. First is the phospholipids. Phospholipid that we already know, lipids with the phosphate residue, one glycerol or an amino alcohol or a fatty alcohol, and with 1 or 2 fatty chains, that is phospholipids. Lipids with the phosphate group is a phospholipid. Glycolipids, lipids containing glycosidic moiety, for example carbohydrate group, is again a glycolipid. Third is a lipoproteins, lipids without phosphate group and containing 1 or more amino acids linked to the long chain of alcohol, or we can say the lipid structure along with the protein is called as lipoprotein. Important structure of the bacterial cell wall. and nucleolipid, lipid containing a nucleobase or a nucleoside or a nucleotide is an or an oligonucleotide is called as nucleolipids. So here, as you know, in both the slides you can see the name have been given to the complex lipid on the basis of the group, on the basis of the groups by which it is attached. For example, phosphate group is attached, then phospholipid, carbohydrate is attached, then glycolipid, protein is attached, so lipoprotein, and if nucleotide is attached, then nucleolipids. Now we are going to see the fatty acids, the basic unit of the complex lipid. Now what do you mean by fatty acid? So fatty acid is a long unbranched chain carboxylic acid. Nearly all have an even number of carbon atoms, most between 12 and 20 in an unbranched chain. The three most abundant are the palmitic acid, stearic acid, and oleic acid. In most naturally occurring unsaturated fatty acid, the cis isomer predominates and the trans isomer is rare. Unsaturated fatty acid have a lower melting points than their saturated counterparts. At room temperature, most saturated fatty acids are solid and most unsaturated fatty acids are in liquid form, and this particular table is regarding the most abundant fatty acids found in animal fats, vegetable oils, and biological membrane. So you just have to go through this particular table. Now we are just going to discuss about the fats. Fat is different than fatty acid, right? You have to be clear about the fats are different than fatty acid. Fat are fatty acid esters of glycerol, where the fatty acids are attached to the glycerol with ester linkage are considered to be as fat. Fatty acid plus glycerol is equal to fat. Fats are one of the three main macronutrients along with the carbohydrates and protein that we already know. Fat molecules consist of the primarily carbon, hydrogen atoms, and therefore hydrophobic and are soluble in organic solvent and insoluble in water. Now what is triglyceride? As we have seen in this particular slide number 17, that fats are what actually connecting ester linkage between the fatty acid and glycerol. Now having we are going to see the triglyceride in ester of the glycerol with 3 fatty acid. Triglyceride, the name given, glyceride, the glycerol molecule connected with 3 fatty acid. So as you can see in this particular diagram, this is the molecule of glycerol which is indicating in a red and green color CHO, COH, CH2OH, CH2O, CHO and CH2OH. Now as you can see, this is the ester bond, COO is the bond, ester bond connected between the fatty acid. This is the 3 fatty acid chain. This is the first chain, this is another second chain and third chain. So 3 glycerol molecules are connected, glycerol molecule is connected with 3 fatty acid is considered to be as triglyceride. Now properties of fats: non-polar in nature, make it water insoluble, and hydrophobic. So this is the main property of the fat. They are non-polar in nature, and this is the reason they are water insoluble and hydrophobic in nature. So natural soap that we are using are prepared by boiling lard or animal fat with NaOH in a reaction called saponification, right? Saponification is the process of making soap from the fat. Now very simple process, that is soap is the sodium salt of the fatty acid. Now you just have to look at the structure. This is triglyceride. Triglyceride is, as you can see, triglyceride is a structure of glycerol plus 3 fatty acid. Now here R is indicating the fatty acid, 3 fatty acids are there and glycerol molecules is there plus 3 NaOH. If you are adding NaOH, then saponification process will takes place and will give you the glycerol or glycerine plus sodium soap, that is a normal soap that you are using in your normal day-to-day usage. Now soaps clean by acting as emulsifying agent. Normally people giving ads like you have to wash your hands. Nowadays in the pandemic, in corona pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic, all of the advertisements are showing that you have to wash your hands up to 1 minute, it will kill the bacteria or viruses, right? So how the soaps clean? that particular surfaces. So soap cleans by acting as a emulsifying agents. The long hydrophobic hydrocarbon chain of the soaps are insoluble in water and tend to cluster in such a way as to minimize their contact with water. As they are hydrophobic, that means hydrophobic means they are afraid about the water, they are afraid of the water, so they will try to repel or to make distance with the water. And the polar hydrophilic carboxylate group remain contact with the surrounding water molecules. In the same structure, two ends will be there, one will be hydrophobic and one will be hydrophilic. Hydrophilic will try to attach to the water, and hydrophobic will try to repel from the water. And this is driven by these two forces. Because of these two forces, soap molecules spontaneously cluster into the micelles. Now what do you mean by micelles? So I'm just giving you the simple example. As you have tried at your home, if you are taking a soap in a bucket of a water, add a soap into the water, just mix it properly, then you will find some bubbling, formation of bubbles into the water. Why this formation of the bubble will take place? Apart from this, I'm just giving you another example, that just take a glass of water, add a 2 to 3 drops of oil in it. What you will find? You will find that the droplet of the oil are not mixing with the water, right? They are floating on the surface of the water. So what is the reason behind that? The reason behind the floating of the oil particles or oil droplets are actually micelles. Micelles are the spherical arrangement of organic molecules in water cluster so that the hydrophobic parts are buried inside and the sphere, and the hydrophilic parts are on the surface of the sphere and in contact with the water. As you can see in the diagram, the repulsion is taking place, right? And when soaps is mixed with the water insoluble grease, oil and fat stains, the non-polar parts of the soap micelles dissolve non-polar dirt molecules and they are carried away in the rinse water, right? So this is the reason the bubble formation is taking place, and this is the reason that particular oil particle it is not getting mixed with the water, that droplet forms because of the micelles. Now we are just going to see the biological significance of the fat or biological significance of the lipids. Lipids are the potential source of the energy, right? We already know that normally fatty people are getting more energy source and skinny people are having a less energy source. That is because the fat is the main source of energy, potential source of energy. During the oxidation, during the metabolism or oxidation process, it provides energy to the body. They can also serve as a source of carbon electron donor to the cells during the nutrition. Another biological significance is lipids plays vital role in the membrane structures of the lipid, right? The most important layer, the most important structure of the plasma membrane, that we already know, the lipid bilayer membrane, which does not allow anything to get inside or anything to get outside without the permission, right? So the vital role in the membrane structure of the cells. Third biological significance is many lipids such as steroids act as a hormone and regulators, as we have discussed earlier. And lipid also serves as a cellular reserve of the food. We can store food or the fat in the form of energy, a reservoir of the energy. And lipid also serve as a source of fat soluble vitamins like vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E and vitamin K. These are my references. If you are having any doubt regarding the lipids, you can write down in the comment section. Thank you so much, guys.